Good evening, everyone. Just doing a quick sound check. Can you hear me okay? Great. Okay, good evening. My name is Michelle Holland, and I'm with the Virginia Department of Transportation's Mega Projects Group in Northern Virginia. I'm Communications Manager for the Mega Projects team. I'd like to welcome you here this evening. Thank you for joining us for our public hearing for the I-95 Express Lanes Opitz Boulevard Ramp Project. Tonight is our virtual public hearing, and I would like to first introduce some other team members who have joined us here this evening. We have Rimpal Shah with VDOT. He is our project manager, and he will be giving the briefing this evening. Alexandra Tuliska is here with us this evening. She is the liaison between VDOT and Prince William County. Robert Wigington is here from our Civil Rights Department. Thank you for being here. And Teresa Cook is here from our Right-of-Way Department. Okay, this project is a public-private partnership and with Transurban, and we have members of our Transurban team here with us this evening as well that I'd like to recognize. Jordan Pitt, who is the project manager from Transurban.
Yeah.
Okay. Karen Consiglio from Transurban is with us this evening. And Brent McKenzie from Transurban. Thank you for joining us. I'd also like to recognize and thank our partners from Prince William County for being with us this evening. We have Katab Shamut from the county with us tonight. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Katab, are there any other people from your team that have joined us this evening?
No, it's only me.
Okay, great. Thank you. And at this time, if there are any elected officials or staff from elected official offices, if you could please unmute yourself and say hello. I didn't see anybody, but in case I might have missed. Okay. And then we have other members of our project team with us here this evening. So thank you everyone for joining us. We're going to go ahead and get started with our public hearing. Tonight's public hearing includes a formal presentation of the draft design plans for the Opitz Ramp project, and as well as discussion of the categorical exclusion environmental document findings. Following tonight's presentation, we will have a public comment session where people will be invited to share any comment or input that they would like to have entered into the public record as part of this public hearing process. And then following that, we will have a question and answer session if needed. As Justin McNall mentioned earlier, tonight's hearing is being streamed live on VDOT's YouTube channel. We are recording tonight's meeting, and that recording will be available to the public tomorrow morning on our project webpage. And that webpage is at virginiadot.org/95 Express Opitz Ramp. We will be referring to that webpage a lot this evening. Attendees will be muted throughout the duration of tonight's meeting in order to minimize background noise and ensure that all attendees can hear. If anyone is having any technical difficulties and you need to speak to someone, please call 703-691-6715. Christina Sarek from our VDOT project team is standing by at that number and will assist you. Thank you. I'm now going to turn it over to our project manager, Rimpal.
Thank you, Michelle, and good evening, everybody, for joining today's design public hearing meeting. I will go through the presentation for mainly the project scope and the technical aspect and also the environmental document on the project. The presentation order will be project overview, environmental review process, project elements, project delivery, and key milestone. Next slide. Now, in terms of the project overview, the purpose and need for the project. So this project improvement will provide an additional travel choice for the 95 corridor user as well as for the 95 express lanes corridor. By providing this reversible lane, it will provide an additional access point for the Opitz Boulevard, both for the Northern Virginia Centera Medical Center as well as for the Potomac commercial area. Now, in terms of the scope, so there are mainly three elements on this project. So there will be a south-facing elevated reversible ramp will be constructed as a part of the project from the Opitz Boulevard to the 95 express lanes. Also, as a part of the project, there will be a sidewalk provided along the north side of the bridge, which will able to provide the direct connection between for the sidewalk between the Telegraph Road to the River Rockway. And also as a part of the project, we are going to relocate the existing slip ramp, which is currently underneath the Opitz Boulevard Bridge. So that will be relocated approximately 1 mile south from the current location to the south of Dale Boulevard. Next slide. Now this slide represents the current existing operation for the express lanes. And the purpose of showing the slide is by implementing the project, we are not going to replace or modify any existing express lane operations. So there will be still carpool HOV3 buses and motorcycles will still travel toll-free the way they are doing right now. All the rules of the road and tolls will be in effect all the times. And also all the regular lane will remain free of charge the way it is. And as we know right now, the Easy Pass is also required for all the drivers, that is HOV3, that is free with the Easy Pass flags. Next slide. Now, by implementing the project, the 95 express lane access change and the schedule in terms of the access change. So this project will construct the new ramp connection between the 95 express lanes and the Opitz Boulevard. And also, as I mentioned before, as a part of this new ramp connection, the existing slip ramp will be relocated south of the Dale Boulevard to maintain the current access point to the express lane from the I-95 general purpose lane. And the table below shows the express lane approximate schedule. Now this schedule is just the approximate as the schedule get changed during the seasonally as well as during the holiday period. And this is just for the informations. If you need very accurate information, you can always refer to the express lane website. Next slide. Now this slide represents how this project implementation will provide the new access point from the Opitz Boulevard as well as from the express ramp. So this during the northbound movement in the morning, this new reversible ramp will provide entry to both the Northern Virginia Medical Center as well as to the Potomac Mills. Same thing if you look at the graphic on the right side. So during the evening peak hours time, it will provide the exit point or the entry point to the express ramp from the Potomac Mills as well as from the Centera Northern Virginia Medical Center, which currently does not exist. Next slide. Now, this slide represents the overall aspect of how the current access point exist for the express lane. So if you look at this is mainly represent the northbound operations. So currently, if you look at the graphic on the right side, all the blue arrow represent the entry point to the express lane from the general purpose lane or from the local arterial street. But there is currently no exit point exist from the express lane right now, just the south of the Opitz Boulevard, until you go back to the Route 123 where there is an exit point exist. So by implementing this project, we will able to provide The motorist another choice to get exit at the Opitz Boulevard, where the mainly commercial area exists for the Potomac Mills, as well as for the medical for the Centara Northern Virginia Medical Center. Next slide. This slide represents the similar operation for the southbound during the evening peak hours. All the orange arrow represent the exit point from the express lane to the either the general purpose lane or to the arterial street. And the blue arrow represent the new reconstruction of this reversible ramp, which will provide the entry to the express lane from the Opitz Boulevard area and all other surrounding local street area. So by implementing the project, the traveler have an additional choice to enter to the express lane within the Prince William County. Next slide. Now this slide represents the overall environmental review process for any of the transportation highway project. As per the FHWA requirements, as per the federal requirements, we have to follow through the National Environmental Policy Act, NEPA requirements. And as a part of the NEPA requirements, this project is qualified to prepare the categorical exclusion document in order to clear the environmental process. And as a part of the CE document, the project team went through all the different technical analysis which include the air quality, hazardous material, historical resources, natural resources, preliminary noise analysis. And based on those analyses, the FHWA has currently approved the CE document to make it available for the public review and comment period. And that document is already uploaded on the project website. And based on the CE document, we haven't found any significant impact to the human or natural environment. Next slide. Now this slide, next three slides will represent the major elements on the project that we are going to construct as a part of the project. So the project elements, the first one is the main reversible ramp that will be constructed from the Opitz Boulevard to the 95 Express lane. And as a part of this reversible ramp, in order to control the movement during the morning and evening peak hours, there will be a signalized ramp intersection will be introduced in the middle, in the central part of the bridge, and those movements will be controlled by the gate. And as a part of the project, as we have we are closely coordinating with the Prince William County's upcoming project for Nebraska Potomac Parking Garage project. And also because of the new sidewalk that will be constructed on the north side of the bridge, as a part of the improvement of the project, there will be a slight modification to the limited access control will be performed. Next slide. Now this slide represents a little bit in more detail on the 3D view for all the improvements that we just discussed. The first element is the new reversible ramp from the Opitz Boulevard to the 95 Express lane. The second element is the signalized ramp intersections to control the movement for the left and right turn lanes. The third element will be the gate control. So there will be a gate installed for the left and to control the left and right movement to enter and exit the reversible ramp. There will be the number 4 element is the continuous sidewalk that will be constructed on the north side of the bridge to have a continuous access for the pedestrian from the Telegraph Road up to the River Rockway. Now, as a part of the project, we have to widen the bridge also on the south side where the reversible ramp is getting connected with the Opitz Boulevard bridge. So that will provide an additional dedicated right turn lane for the northbound loop ramp. And also there will be a toll rate signage will be installed on both sides of the interchange so the traveling public know what are the rates before they enter the express lanes. And as I mentioned before, there will be a bridge widening as a part of the project improvement, and all the bridge elements that will be impacted by this project will be bring back to the current VDOT standard. And also there will be a concrete barrier will be installed to separate out the pedestrian movement from the general traffic on the Opitz Boulevard bridge. and that barrier will receive the architectural treatment on both the sides. And for that, we are closely coordinating with the Prince William County Transportation Department. Next slide. Now this element, this is the third element of the main element of the project, where we are relocating the existing slip ramp from the to provide the existing movement that is currently exists underneath the Opitz Boulevard bridge from the I-95 southbound to the 95 express lane. So this slip ramp will be relocated south of Dale Boulevard. Next slide. Now, in terms of the project delivery, we have currently executed a development framework agreement with the Transurban to develop the Opitz Boulevard access ramp project. And as a part of this agreement, the concessionaire is going to submit the proposal to meet the technical and financial criteria for the VDOT's review and approval. In terms of the responsibility between the VDOT and the concessionaire for the projects, so VDOT is still going to review and approve the interchange access report and all the environmental document, which in this case is the categorical exclusion, before we can submit it to the FHWA for their final review and approval. All other required CTB or the FHWA approval will also be taken lead by the VDOT. VDOT is still responsible for the review and approval of the final design and the construction, and for the overall oversight and coordination with the federal, state, or any other local government entity involved in the project. In this case, it will be Prince William County mainly. Now, in terms of the concessionaire responsibility, so they are responsible to develop the preliminary engineering plans, interchange access report, categorical exclusion document for the environment, for the project delivery, which will be a design bid build method. So they are responsible for the procurement of the contractor. They are also, concessionaire is also responsible for the overall project funding, and once the project will be constructed, for their operation and maintenance. Next slide. Now, in terms of the key milestone on the project, so this project started to develop the preliminary engineering around spring of 2021. And currently we are standing in October 21, where today we have a design public hearing, and there is an in-person by appointment public hearing scheduled for tomorrow from 6 to 9. We are anticipating, and there is a review period will be allowed based on this today's and tomorrow's public hearing for the general public to submit any comments up to the November 30, 2021. And we are expecting to get the final approval of the categorical exclusion and the interchange access report from the FHWA around fall or winter of 21, which will be the end of this year. And we are anticipating to start the construction on the project around summer 2022. And the project will be completed completely by summer of 24. This will mainly conclude my presentation for the project technical and the scope point of view, and I will hand over to Michelle to go through the public comments steps.
Thank you, Rimpal. So we're now going to begin our comment portion of our hearing this evening. Just to go over a couple of ground rules for anyone who would like to provide their comments. Speakers will be limited to 3 minutes each if you're speaking as an individual, or 5 minutes if you are representing a group. Just a reminder that all attendees do need to remain muted until you are speaking and providing your comment. We do not have any pre-registered speakers this evening, so we will be opening it up to anybody who has joined us who would like to go ahead and state a formal comment. Once we complete that, we will have questions and answers if time allows, and I think that time will allow that. To provide your comment through WebEx, we are using the chat function. And you will want to write in your name and that you would like to provide a comment. And then we will call on you and unmute you so that you can go ahead and provide your comment. If you'd prefer that we read your comment, just type that in the chat function and we will be happy to do so. Justin will let you all know through the chat function when he's turning it on, and I believe that he has just turned it on, so the chat function is on. If anybody would like to leave a comment or let us know that you're going to provide comment. Just letting you know that all participants will be able to see all messages in the chat function. Please only use this function this evening to write in your formal comments or to let us know that you would like to state your comment. We should not be using the chat function for any other type of commentary this evening. Next slide. If you have joined us by phone this evening and would like to provide a comment, please press *3 to raise your hand and be added to the queue. We'll announce it when it's your turn to state your comment, and we will unmute your phone line at that time. You'll hear that your line has been unmuted, and then you'll be able to speak. Once you've finished providing your comment, please press *3 again, and that will indicate that your hand has been lowered. You will be muted again after. The public comment period for this project does last until November 30th, 2021. So any comments received until November 30th will be formally considered by the project team and will be included in the public record for the public hearing process. Materials, design materials for the project have been available to the public on our website since September 29th, 2021. The categorical exclusion environmental document is also now available on our project website for public review. Ways to provide your comments after tonight's hearing: you can submit an online comment form accessible on our project website. You can send an email to meetingcomments@vdot.virginia.org. If you're doing that, please reference the project name in the subject line of your email. You can mail your comments to our VDOT Northern Virginia District Office at 4975 Alliance Drive, Fairfax, Virginia 22030. Please be sure to send your comment if you are mailing it to the attention of Rimpal Shah, R-I-M-P-A-L, last name S-H-A-H, project manager. If you need to speak with us by phone, you can call that number 703-691-6715 and speak with Christina Sarek of our project team, and she will be able to help you. We will hold an in-person by appointment only public hearing tomorrow evening, Thursday, October 28th. The hearing was scheduled for 6 until 9 p.m. at the Northern Virginia Community College Woodbridge campus. We will be located at the Woodbridge Arts and Science Building, and that address is 2645 College Drive, Woodbridge, Virginia 22191. The nearest free parking is available in Lot B. If you are planning to attend the in-person public hearing, we do ask that you schedule an appointment in advance. You can reach us at the phone number 703-691-6715. You can call tomorrow and schedule an appointment, or you can sign up through our website at www.virginiadot.org/95 Express Opitz ramp, or send us an email. If you do not make an appointment, but you still wish to provide comments, please take advantage of one of the various ways that we've gone over, because again, the comment period will remain open until November 30th. Okay. Okay. Is there another slide after this? Okay. Before we get into comments, just a reminder that those public hearing materials for the project are available on the project website, and we have hard copies available at the VDOT Northern Virginia office on Alliance Drive in Fairfax, as well as at the Prince William County Government Center in Woodbridge. Okay, I believe we do have somebody who would like to leave their comment. Okay, one moment, please. One moment. Okay, this is from Charles Grimes. He is with the Prince William Conservation Alliance. His comment is, it is important that the bike pedestrian connection on the north side of the bridge connect across the entrance exit ramps with a safe route. Route 234 bridge across I-95 has had a useless sidewalk since it has been built because no safe connection has been provided to cross entrance and exit ramps. We need to plan for safety and mobility at the same time, and this design stage of this project is the right time. Okay, thank you, Charlie. Your comment will be entered into the public record. Okay, at this time, we'll open it up to anyone else who would like to offer a comment. If you could just send us a message through the chat function or raise your hand. Okay, we did have one question come in from Tim Bowers asking where the public can get a copy of the slides. And Justin just posted a link on the chat. It links to our project webpage, virginiadot.org/95 Express Opitz ramp. The slides are available there. We also have a project brochure that was developed for tonight's hearing available on that webpage with a lot of good information. And we will have the link tomorrow to the video of tonight's hearing. And again, just a reminder that we are available tomorrow evening in person. We do ask that you schedule an appointment in advance if you plan to attend. And that's at the Northern Virginia Community College Woodbridge campus. Okay, are there any other questions from any attendees or anyone else who would like to leave a comment? Okay, I don't see anything.
Mark Schufler, you put a quick message directly to the moderator. If you want to speak, you can provide comment. You can just unmute yourself. Else, I will just post your comment into the everyone, and it can be read. Mark's comment was, recommend the project does not preclude bidirectional express lanes. And I'll put that into the everyone, so it's there for the record.
Okay, thank you, Mark. That will be entered into the public record. Okay, I'm going to, that concludes our formal presentation. I'm going to ask that the project team please remain on the WebEx until 7:15 this evening. If you would, please, if you are not specifically on the project team and you would like to hang up, that concludes our formal presentation for this evening. So we thank you for joining us. I did want to mention also that John Muse, our environmental manager from VDOT's Northern Virginia District, also has been on the WebEx for tonight's hearing. Okay. Yes, we will keep the stream going for now until we close out the meeting. Okay, I think we have another comment that has come in from Perrin Palestrant. Perrin, you're with OmniRide, correct? With Prince William County, I believe. Okay. Perrin's comment, he says, good evening. I have a question regarding access from the north in the evenings. You can enter the express lanes fairly easily in the mornings, but in the evenings, it looks like it's fairly circuitous to access the garage. Okay, Rimpal, can you speak to that? That's not a comment, that's a question. Are you able to address that, Rimpal? You're muted. Okay, Rimpal, you are still muted. Justin, are you able to unmute him? Are you able to unmute yourself again?
Yes, I can.
Okay,
Can
we
you
can hear you now.
So the question is, you can enter the express lane fairly easily in the morning, and that is correct, but in the evening, it looks like it's fairly circuitous to access the garage. Now, I'm not sure which garage he's referring to, but I just want to emphasize that during the evening, it's very difficult to get access to the express lane, and that's where this new reversible ramp will provide entry to the express lane through this Opitz Boulevard reversible ramp. And Prince William County is also constructing as a part of their project on the southeast corner, there will be a new garage will be constructed, which is the Nebraska Potomac garage project. So that will actually add another advantage to this project. So the people will have an easy access in and out from the garage through this reversible ramp.
Thank you, Rimpal.
Yeah, I hope this answers the question. If not, then please let us know.
Okay, Perrin says yes, you've answered his question. Thank you.
We had a question from Mark Schiffler that got sent directly in, but I'll go ahead and read it. And just a note for folks, if you, in the comment field, in the chat field, if you select two, please select everyone. That way it can be seen by others. The question is, could the ramp allow for a bidirectional access in the future? Is the ramp size similar to Monument Drive ramp on I-66?
So I can answer that the ramp will have the two lanes available. So that like when you are in the morning hours, when you are entering through that ramp to the Opitz Boulevard, for both right and left turn movement, there will be a two separate lane will be provided.
Hey, Mark, does that answer your question? If not, please let us know.
Mark, you should be able to speak now. I went ahead and just unmuted everyone. See if that fixes it for you.
Yes, sorry. I got to work. Yeah, I was just asking, for future case, whether, you could allow for bidirectional service. So we build the ramp for a potential for, a bidirectional express lanes in the future. I think that's sorely needed on this corridor. So I just don't want to have you guys spend all this money and, the bridge isn't big enough to allow for bidirectional service. I think Monument Drive is a case where it used to be kind of one way in, one way out, similar to how this ramp is going to be built in the near term. I just wanted to make sure that it could allow for bidirectional, because I know they switched the Monument Drive one to allow for bidirectional service currently, and that's how it's going to be the ICD-6 express lanes. I just want to make sure that they're building a bridge big enough to allow that potential in the future, because I think that's sorely needed in the corridor within the next 10 to 20 years.
So the I-95, all the express lane on I-95 is already the reversible ramp. And this ramp will also act as a reversible. So during the morning hours, it will allow the movement for the northbound, and during the evening, it will allow to enter for the southbound express lanes.
Yeah, I understand how it's going to work when it's built. I'm just trying to
So
say
you're
making
talking
a.
about building the ramp to the north side of the bridge also? That's what you are referring?
I'm referring to, so I want to say that you could do both north and south at the same time if express lanes were converted in the future to be bidirectional in the 95 corridor. I just want to you're spending $70 million on this project. I just don't want you to have to spend another $60 million to redo the bridge if you want to have bidirectional service.
Hey,
say,
Mark,
in 25 years.
This is Brent McKenzie. I'm with Transurban, and I understand the question you're asking, but if VDOT chose to do bidirectional express lanes at some point in the future, those additional lanes would have to be built in a different space, and so this ramp would not allow for that bidirectional. I understand what you're saying. We're in there now. We're spending money on it. Why not prepare for that? But just the geometry of that wouldn't really allow for it. So, I understand the concept of what you're going for there, but that's not going to be the case with this one.
Okay.
Thank you, Brent.
Hey, we're opening it back up again. Does anyone else have public comment they would like to leave for the record, or have a question for our project team? Okay. We don't have anyone else that wants to speak. We're going to go ahead and conclude the formal virtual public hearing. I would ask the project team to please go ahead and remain on the WebEx, let's say for another 5 minutes, just to remain available in case we've missed anyone. But for everyone else, we thank you for joining. Have a nice evening. Stay safe. Thank you. Okay, the time is now 7:20 p.m. We've not had anyone additional join us this evening. So we are going to go ahead and conclude our public hearing and close out the WebEx. Thank you all again for joining. Good night.
Thanks, Michelle and Paul.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Goodbye.